Welcome to the Seat 77 Sports Desk. As always, I'm Dave Dabbah, coming to you live and on tape from the super plush Silicon Valley studios of Seat 77. Oh boy, have we got a huge show for everyone today. It is completely dedicated to this weekend's National Football League games, which are coming up. Anyway, so Producer Buck wants me to remind everybody that we are blowing up North America. We are now on TuneIn Radio. So subscribe to our TuneIn Radio channel as well as iTunes. So check out the big podcast on iTunes when you have a chance. All right, I will remind them, Producer Buck. Also, info at seat77.com. Send us your emails. We will read them on the air on Monday. Huge weekend of football coming up in the National Football League. Super excited about that. Before we dive into that, Producer Buck, I gotta tell you this one story. So one of the benefits of having like a lot of children is occasionally they bake you things. And I will say that this morning before we got to the big broadcast studio, I had a fantastic piece of cake that one of my daughters baked. Lots of frosting. It was so good. So the good news is I finished it and there isn't any left in the house. Anyways, so we're going to cover the National Football League today. Odell Beckham Jr. and the Giants danced their way to victory on Thursday night. So nothing to say about that other than Kirk Cousins is a mediocre quarterback at best. And I don't think the Washington Redskins will ever go anywhere with him as their starting quarterback. Elsewhere around the National Football League, news and notes, if you will. Johnny Manziel is not thrilled about being benched. Look, I got to tell you, leave it to the Browns to A, draft Manziel, B, not play him, C, finally play him, D, watch Manziel actually have some success, and finally, E, bench him. Cleveland, the next letter is an F, and that is what your entire organization gets for your handling of Johnny Manziel. So, Producer Buck, not sure if you saw this earlier in the week, but do you know what the top-selling jersey is in the National Football League right now? After 2 weeks of play, Tom Brady, Mr. Deflategate himself, his jersey is the top-selling jersey at the NFL shop in the National Football League. I think that actually says a lot about how the people feel about Deflategate, Headsetgate, Spygate, all the other gates that the Patriots have been involved in. Clearly, the people have spoken with their wallets. Tom Brady leading the National Football League in NFL jersey sales. Congrats to Tom on that. All right. So, big weekend of football for everybody. Info at seat77.com. Remember, we'll read your emails on the air on Monday. Huge weekend. Here we go. We're going to cover all the games, and we're going to do it fast. We're going to start with the Falcons at the Cowboys. Okay, this is a really, really hard, pick to make. Going to go with the Falcons. I just think that the Cowboys are in a lot of trouble with Wheaton as their starting quarterback, who of course was a Cleveland Brown draft pick. So just on that note, we'll pick the Falcons. Colts versus Titans. Expect the Titans defense to rebound, and I think the Titans are going to win. The Colts will fall to 0-3. Raiders at the Browns. Look, I'm not sure if the Raiders are going to show up, but if for some reason the Raiders show up, then I'm certainly going to take the Raiders to beat up on Josh McCown and the Cleveland Browns. Now, I will say this. If McCown goes out in the first quarter, then I want to make a second pick, which is that the Browns will win because they have Manziel in the game. One other note from the National Football League this week that was fantastic. The Raiders being the Raiders. So in the NBA, you have the Clippers being the Clippers, and they always do just stupid things, and so that's why they're the Clippers. In the National Football League, you have the Raiders are the Raiders. And so the NFL has gone around to all of the stadiums and has had them paint 50 in gold because it's the 50th anniversary of the National Football League. This year is going to be the 50th Super Bowl. And so everybody's painted the 50-yard line numbers and hash numbers in gold. And the only team to say no is the Raiders. So leave it to the Raiders to do that. Elsewhere around the National Football League, we got Bengals at Ravens. Ravens are going to win. Jaguars at Patriots. Jaguars will not win. This is an interesting game because they are improving. But I've got to believe this game's going to be a little closer than you think. I'll say that. But the Pats will win. Saints are going to lose to the Panthers. Eagles are going to lose to the Jets as Chip Kelly is going to be just 5 games away from being fired. If Chip Kelly goes 0-8, expect him to be canned in Philadelphia. The Nutty Professor's experiment is not working, North America. Buccaneers versus Texans. Texans are going to win. Chargers versus my Minnesota Vikings. Since they're my Minnesota Vikings, I've got to pick the Vikes. However, Phillip Rivers is going to have a big day. Steelers at Rams. Steelers are going to win. 49ers at Cardinals in the easiest game to pick of the week. Cardinals. Producer Buck, Cardinals are going to win that game. Bills at Dolphins. Who knows? I'm going to take the Bills. Bears at Seahawks. Second easiest game to pick of the week. Seahawks with the big victory. Broncos versus the Lions. Peyton Manning with 4 touchdown passes. 2 interceptions will lead the Broncos over the Detroit Lions. And finally, on Monday Night Football, the Green Bay Packers are going to be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a little bit of a tricky game to pick, but expect Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball to somebody. I'm not even sure who their wide receivers are anymore, but the Packers will win on Monday Night Football. All right, so a couple quick notes for everybody. We are back on Monday. We'll see how we did with our big picks. We want to hear from you, North America. So subscribe to the big channels on TuneIn Radio. Subscribe to the iTunes channels. And, of course, send us an email at info@seat77.com. For the Seat 77 Sports Desk, as always, I'm Dave Dabbah, reminding you that not all news is real. It isn't. Some of it is fake. And good luck, North America.